No, that was his Moscato. No, that gun or Moscato.
Yeah, that's fine. That's beautiful. Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
We're on
Yeah.
live.
Hello, everybody.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Rooted in Foods. It's Monday night.
It is.
I'm Nikki.
And I'm chilly.
And we're still the Davises.
Still up. Where's your
That's
glasses?
those are my glasses. Might need my glasses.
You might.
So we are in
Austria.
March, and March this year is all about the cuisines of Central Europe.
Central or Eastern?
Central.
Okay.
We're in Central.
Okay.
So we did Hungary last week with two versions of goulash, the traditional.
Hungarian goulash was awesome.
It was so good.
Oh, so delicious.
And then alongside that, just so you could kind of see the differences and similarities, we did our
Midwestern goulash.
yeah, very, very beloved Midwestern American goulash. Yeah, see, that's what I grew up on. So,
Nope. Way too many tomatoes.
So tonight we are in Austria, and it's a little Germanic Austria.
Oh, it is.
Well, yeah, the it's kind of why I did Central Europe as opposed to sticking with one country for March because so much of the flavor profile crosses over. Not entirely. We've got some lemons tonight, which is not necessarily a typical.
We got limes.
We do have limes. Yeah, the drink isn't necessarily. The drink just kind of complements. It's not.
It is Austrian.
It
It is an Austrian.
Oh, did you
cocktail,
find?
yes.
Okay. Well, we were struggling a bit to find. So I'm
We
glad
were
you did.
struggling Hungary.
Yeah.
Austrians drink.
Austrians drink. Well, they're kind of like Germans.
They're like, we'll have one of these and one of these,
cocktails.
and one of these, and one of these.
When I visited, cocktails aren't necessarily. It's it's
beer.
Beer. You're either in beer or wine territory, right? So,
yeah. But there's still cocktails.
So anyway, tonight is Austrian, and yes, we'll visit Germany and Switzerland, and I forgot what other country. Hey, Jen.
We got the comments back.
Yeah, I double checked that last night. So we ran a test drive last night on some new equipment to
that
make
we are using tonight.
Yeah, so it is working. Okay. Sorry, I'm doing this because our handful of recent videos have been slightly
askew,
glitchy, buffering. So we're making
vampire slayerish.
We're making cheese dumplings, a version that's traditional to Austria, but guess what? Germany also. A lot of things cross over there. And a chicken with an egg sauce, like a creamy. I call it a pan sauce. It's not exactly because it has eggs in it, but a creamy sauce to go over the chicken that does not have cream in it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we'll talk more about that when we get there. And that's dinner.
Yeah.
So what are we drinking?
Cocktails. Hugo Spritz is what we're having.
Aim that way.
You got the way, and
I'm
gotta get ice.
Come back here.
You gotta get ice for me.
Yahoo!
So we're using a prosecco.
Clearly. Oh, my dragon fruit is in the freezer, freezing. How many did you say you wanted? 4?
4 each.
Is there a science behind why 4?
No, we gotta have. Hey, Steph. Hey, Grandma.
Hey.
Gotta have plenty of room for the booze.
That's room for booze. Okay.
That's all it is. We're gonna use an ounce of elderflower liqueur, or an ounce and a half in one case. Oh well. We're gonna use. Give this. 2 ounces of a sparkling water. We're using Pellegrino. So a little fizzy water. And then we're going to dump in our garnishes. Nick has the mint leaves.
I do have some mint leaves. I'm going to be using those mint leaves in my tea for a while too. I can tell. Phew.
Nick has a lime. And then we just top it off
with some prosecco.
The prosecco.
Beautimus. Oh. That's plenty of prosecco for me. You almost half the bottle.
We'll have it gone by the end of the night.
Probably not. Are we stirring? Not stirring?
And
It smells
stir it up.
good. Hey, J Effect, welcome.
Hey guys, there's our cocktail. The Hugo Spritz.
Cheers. It smells good. Tastes good.
Oh, it's refreshing.
I'm putting more ice in mine though, because I
I was
like
going
mine
to
really
ask if you
cold.
would take that from you.
There's one thing
I'd
about
appreciate it.
prosecco, but I like mine super, super cold.
I would like to.
So another taking us into spring and summer drink. I like.
Like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Off to the kitchen with you.
Off to
Yes.
the kitchen for me, huh?
Your cocktail.
All right. So we are making the Austrian equivalent of Spätzle. Yeah. Which the recipe is basically the same. Um, in fact, we're gonna call it identical.
Mm.
And Austria is very much I mean, it's a German speaking country, so the two countries will not be back to back on air just
No.
because. And I will do my best to find a German dish that we haven't cooked at least once already on the show. Um,
That's what you get.
well, we've done Spätzle before, but it's been a while, and this actually has cheese on top of it. So we're gonna go in stages because the dumplings will actually hold while I do everything else. We're gonna make those first and let them sit. I'll come back and show you how to do the chicken. These are all, by the way, tr well, we'll say um, I don't like the word authentic because I think it's hard to prove authenticity these days because we move around so much, but we'll say common, maybe traditional in Austria with some tweaks because I'm in a kitchen in America on a show that we try to get done in under an hour. So, so these actually come together pretty quick. So I have 2¼ cups, about half a pound of flour in here, um, half a teaspoon of salt already in here. I'm going to add an egg,
One eggy.
one eggy. Yes, gonna rinse the egg yolk off my hands already. Washing my hands. And thank you.
Welcome.
Garbage bowl. I'm gonna need that later. A 1/4 cup of water. We'll start with a 1/4 cup of water. We'll see where this takes us here.
Oh,
Yeah, and I start pretty much gonna tell you I'm gonna need more water. Um, moisture in the air, lack of moisture in the air, there's all sorts of things that will affect a dough coming together like this for dumplings. Let me get some more water. I do not want sparkling water. That'll make a tempura batter, and we don't want that. So we want this to be smooth. And this is actually, I have a Spätzle recipe I usually work with, and this is not it. This is out of an Austrian cookbook that I have. Yes, thank you. It's
or
actually taking about twice the amount of water that the cookbook calls for. And I'm going to just take
is it
into account the
another
fact that we're at a lower sea level because that also will impact all sorts of things in cooking. What you don't want is like pancake consistency, pancake batter consistency. You want,
we do a lot of local shopping.
We absolutely do. Okay, we're alrighty. Need to scrape. We got something going on outside because the girls are in a tizzy. Might be just a teeny tiny too dry still. Um, Trying to think of like for those of you who bake consistency. Um, it's kind of close to bread dough before you let it rise would be probably the thing I could get to as far as consistency. Okay, that's where we're going to stop. Otherwise, it's going to be too loose. Now, the recipe is one that says put this on a board and scrape it off with a um, knife. We don't do that in this house because we're not capable of that skill level. So we're going to be just a little bit German and get out the Spätzle
Make
maker. That is, it's an old one, but it's not ancient. I picked it up. Oh, I don't know, antique store, but I don't remember where, to be honest with you. Okay, whew, yeah, hang on a second. Let me see if I can pull some of the steam off of here for you. Hopefully you can't hear the vent too much. All right, so one thing I'm going to do just because over the years I have noticed that this makes things a lot easier. Thank you. Just a little spritz of nonstick spray. And this is backward for me. This has a little hook on it so it won't pull past the pan. And these are going to be teeny tiny dumplings compared to like if you're used to chicken and dumplings, that kind of thing. These are small little noodle dumplings. And sorry, you can't really see what I'm doing because it takes my whole hand to do it. But we're going through these little holes. You don't have one of these, a colander with larger holes actually works really well. Yeah. And I'm not making a huge amount. Like this is enough for dinner. We're not going to have a lot left over. I need a whole lot more than that though. Like probably half of what's left. Thank you. And it just pushes the dough back and forth and then through the holes. Okay, throw the rest of it in there because I'm going to put some water in that sucker. Thank you. And I can tell you just working with this that it's still a little sticky, but we're going to make it work. So when I move this contraption out of the way, you'll see some of these are already starting to float. That's when you know they're done. Um, so if this is something that you make often, get one of these, or if you decide to make them often, um, get one of these because it makes it a whole lot easier. Otherwise, if you're just kind of messing around and experimenting, colander works just as well. You just kind of push it through, but make sure you've got holes that are a good size. Otherwise, you'll end up with, um, yeah, end up with either teeny tiny things or a big blob of things. Like that's going to be one decent sized glob. There you go. Take that, please. My pan moved. All right. So these guys, so that was 2.5 cups, half a pound of flour. That is all you want in a soup pot, stock pot this size. Otherwise, it's like having too much pasta in your pot boiling. They'll start to stick together and you won't have what you think you're going to have.
Jennifer, Could you easily expect some of those?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anything you want to put in there. And I didn't tonight because I wanted to kind of keep things, close to traditional. I've done this with, instead of water, I have used like juice from spinach that I've boiled.
She
Um,
said seasoned, like with J effect.
I know. Yeah, you could absolutely. I threw salt in here, but um there's lots of things you can do with this. This is blank slate. So J Effect, King Tiger Farms. I wouldn't go putting, vinegar and that kind of stuff in here, but any kind of seasoning, or replace the water with some sort of vegetable juice and you'll get that color. Just like we have, red and green pasta, you can do the same thing with the, I'm going to call it spätzle because that's what it is, folks, but um, different cultures, different names. Okay,
Different strokes for different folks, I
yeah, I'm
believe is the
actually going to
phrase that
need
you're
a
looking
bigger
for.
one of these though. Mm. Get my green one. You'll be able to see the dumpling. So I'm not walking away from this because if you do, you'll lose it. And you can kind of see them, they're starting to float. Once we get a decent chunk of them floating up, they're done. So this comes together, I mean, this part comes together really quickly. Once you boil them, they're cooked, they're done. I'm going to take it a step further later in the show and pan fry them in butter, and that's where the cheese comes in at. We'll talk about that when we get there,
Yeah.
but you can see, yeah, and at that point you can season them again some more for the first time. We'll throw some J effect in there. I've got some. The garlic and herb actually would be really good in that. Yeah. So like I said, these are completely blank slate.
Like egg, flour, and water.
Hmm.
They are a vessel to be seasoned.
It'd be fun to experiment with some different flavor profiles, like curry, Jen.
That's exactly what Shinji said. She said, hurry, spatula.
Get out of my head, girlfriend.
She just said it. Now show the world.
Show the world that my twin is watching. I did lose a couple of them down here by the fire. They're baking. Yeah, so you can see them popping up here really. Um, so those are done.
JFX says that sounds good.
This is like European mac and cheese. I mean, in fact, I've got cheese sauce from last night in there. I could, if I were doing this just because, I would just reuse the cheese sauce, but I'm going to show you what to do. And again, I didn't make a lot. This is going to get us dinner tonight and probably lunch tomorrow. Because they are, I mean, they're rich. You're eating noodles and cheese. So,
Now, he says you can add dried or fresh herbs.
yep.
Be careful adding something with oil in it.
I would stay away from oil and vinegary. You save that for when you're doing things after they're cooked. Don't put
Yeah.
that in the dough. Yeah. But
Your after seasoning.
yeah, and if you do like garlic or something, use powdered. Okay. Now, yes, and here's another one of those. So we're going to remove the boiling water.
All right, where's
Just dump it into the sink. We'll not worry about hitting anything. It's no big deal. We'll clean things up later. So here's the finished. Oh, hello. There we go. I don't want to use my hands to those up because they're no. Just leave it over there. I need those. Thank you. Well,
all right.
put it outside. So they're trying to just pull one up here so you can see it. Well, there's two. There you go. There we go. So that's actually a decent sized one. So we're just going to let these hang out and drain. These, by the way, I always get questions about them. If you want to Put it back on us. I'll show him the colander.
JFX wants to know, how does it store and should it be made to eat? So
Oh, just the noodles by
yeah,
themselves. Yeah, put them back on us and I'll talk about it. So these guys, I love. These were big A finds. I haven't
yeah,
seen anything like it around here. So treat it like pasta. So if you make spaghetti noodles ahead of time, you can save them 2, maybe 3 days by themselves. Um,
maybe put some oil in it to
yeah, pasta, I usually put a little bit of olive oil on so it
mhm,
doesn't like get stick
stick
together and
together.
get yucky.
Yeah,
I know people that store it like restaurants store it in water. I'm not a fan of that because I think it bloats the noodle. These I would do the exact same thing with once they cooled to keep them from sticking together. A little bit of oil, canola, cooking spray, whatever. You don't have to use olive oil, just something that keeps them from sticking together in the refrigerator. Um, and they'll hold like once I cook them, I'll throw them in the fridge just like I would a pasta dish that was left over after eating dinner. So yeah, 2, 3 days is kind of my max because then I think you could hold them up to a week, but I don't know that I would. I think they get a little gummy, gooey,
mhm.
gummy at that point. So I'd say about 3 days max.
I would max it at
Yeah. I've never frozen them, however. I've never made enough to freeze them because they're too easy just to make from
3. Yeah,
scratch. I mean, you just saw me do it in about 15 minutes. So,
that little less actually.
all right, we're going to let these hang out. Uh, they are one of my favorite things, though. And if you don't have pasta on hand, guess what? You can use them a lot like pasta. So,
Are you over there?
yeah, because I'm going to pick up my fried spätzle noodle dumpling. the,
The royal one.
the one that got away. I lost 3. That's okay. All right, now we're going to do our chicken. So I've got 2 big chicken breasts. Um, put them over here. I'm going to show them how to cut these guys.
Oh, as soon as you're ready for them.
Yep. Knife. I need a knife. Let's see. This one. Hopefully it's sharp enough.
I'm sure.
Okay. So this is actually a recipe from a restaurant. Now I have, would you go get my European cookbook that's on
Just
the
go over
top?
there. I'll
Okay,
talk.
you talk. I'll
Go
go
ahead.
get. I get
You
you
go
talk.
get. I'll, cabbage last night. It's gracious. Got
Oh, she was cooking that when I was over there. That
curry fried
freaking smelled
cabbage. Wow,
delicious.
that sounds good. Yeah. So you're finding your recipe. Any questions on the cocktail? It's 1 ounce, two
Finding
ounce
the
still.
date. 1983. Yeah, I thought it was. Okay, so this is an early 80s cookbook. Cuisines of Europe. It's one of my favorites. I've learned a lot from it.
Mm-hmm.
1983, it's not a cookbook of recipes from restaurants specifically, but there are some in here from restaurants. Restaurants from 1983 Europe, not today's restaurants.
40 years ago restaurant.
This chicken recipe is one of those. And the recipe calls for supremes of chicken, which is the chicken breast, um, bone in, skin on, or at least skin on, but bone in, skin on, with the wing joint, not the whole flapper, just
Mm-hmm.
this part right here, still attached. So you've got a little handle,
So the white meat plus the white.
the white meat plus the white meat. Um, we don't have that tonight. We have plain old skinless, boneless chicken breasts that we're going to cut in half because they're huge. So I'm going to have 4 pieces of chicken when it's all said and done.
Right?
So like I said, we're changing things just a bit.
Well, do what you got to do.
Yep. All right, and I'm going to put some olive oil in my pan.
Let me turn it on at all.
Yes, please.
What? Check. Still low.
Mm-hmm.
Warm.
Mm-hmm. So this is also one that There's not a lot of seasoning going on in Europe, at least not in old school recipes. Salt, pepper,
They're pretty.
some fresh herbs. So we're going to sprinkle these. These are still slightly frozen, which I actually like when I'm trying to cut them. Um, shoot, I broke my own rule. I handled raw meat with my cutting hand. Um, Slightly frozen still, like right here in the middle. And when you're cutting, that actually makes it easier to cut them. So I'm not unhappy with that. I've got a little bit of,
Sharp enough.
yep, we're
Okay.
sharp enough still. Just going to trim these just a wee bit. Yeah, not much though.
Yeah.
Pull that totally off. Yeah, you don't want to lose too much. I've been buying chicken and like chicken breasts in bulk, like major bulk, because you can wrap them in like the press
Wax
and
paper.
seal cellophane or wax paper or something
Mhm.
like that and freeze them individually or in twos, and they'll last technically 6 months, but um, okay. So to cut them in half, start on the plump end. Um, and what we're going to do is come down to about here with our knife and just start sliding toward you, being careful. Totally cut them. Yeah, I'm not going to do this. We're going to get them so they're kind of flat. They cook faster that way too. Um, Recognizing that this part right here, this is the tenderloin. This is thinner, so kind of be careful as you're going that direction. Sharp knife. You can butterfly. Yeah, I'm just going to go all the way through.
Yes, it does help. Sharp enough.
It does. Now, if you butterfly, you stop there and go. If not, you just keep going all the way through, and eventually you can just cut through. So we've got, and these are closer to like, what a chicken breast portion size should be. This one's a little wonky, but we don't care.
Thinner.
Yep. I'm gonna turn this one upside down so it's easier for me to cut. Pull this little piece of fat off. Yeah, definitely sharp knife. Don't try to do this with, well, don't try to do anything, but definitely not this. So same thing. Use your palm, keep it steady until you can start to get through it. And, don't freak out if you're not perfect on this. Mine sometimes are a little bit like,
Looking for dinner.
yeah, I don't ever care enough to be perfect with it because I think perfection in a kitchen is overrated. All right, there's that one. I could probably get a third piece out of that. He was so big and they're so tiny, but I'm not worried about it.
Or 20.
Yeah. Okay. So,
I know which one it is. The one top right hand corner.
okay. So we're gonna just J-effect these bad boys up with some
Look at
garlic
that.
and herb.
J effect. We got the big.
And don't be afraid to be pretty liberal with your,
It's chicken. It's fucking chicken. So
no.
add some flavor.
Rub it in. Rub those boobies. Now, you could dredge these. I mean, we're in Germanic territory. You can do schnicken schnitzel, chicken schnitzel. Um, yeah, I've cooked all of them. All right, there we go.
I forget it. I missed that.
All right, going in.
Into the pool.
Yep. Oh, man, that garlic and herb hit that hot heat and wowzers. Now these little thin ones might get done sooner, and that's okay. We'll just take them out. All right. Remove thy gloves, remove thy red cutting board so you don't cross-contaminate things,
All of that.
right?
Ooh,
Once it hit that heat.
it
That
took it a
was,
minute to go for me
yep.
to
And we'll
travel the
get a,
6 feet.
we'll
When it
get a,
did,
okay. My poor sink is gonna be full tonight.
yeah, we don't believe in blandness.
We do not. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil on my dumplings just because I don't want them to stick together while they're
Okay.
sitting here.
We just use no different.
Yep. All right, we're gonna let those do their thing. In the meantime, where's my Butterkäse? There it is. Butter cheese. Um, for the dumplings, you want something that is melty, and if you can find like in what is it, Emmental cheese, um, or Gruyere would be okay. A Swiss would be
Pick that up over.
appropriate.
Read it.
Um, the Butterkäse that you can find in a variety of this is Boar's Head, but there's a lot of brands out there that carry it. I'm going to go ahead and get this processed so it's done. And we're going to throw it in the food processor so it shreds. So use your tools. Be careful of sharp things like that.
Oh yeah, Grandma, they do chicken breast definitely love the JFX
Oh, they do for sure. And those won't take long to cook. I'm going to turn the heat down to medium because I don't want it to burn.
while you're talking. Want me
Mm-mm.
to flip them?
Yeah, probably not quite yet. All right, I'm going to get the wrapper off this cheese real fast. You want a hunk of this?
Do I? Oh, that's a silly question.
There you go.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
Mm-hmm. Oh, delicious. Now, this is a semi-soft
yeah.
cheese. So when you put it in um this thing, food
Food
processor,
processor.
goodness, it'll stick together a little bit when you shred it. We're gonna use most of this later. Actually, I'll probably use all of it
I'm
because
flipping.
it's cheese. Flip. Oh, make sure your food processor is plugged in before you try to use it. You can kind of see that on an angle.
Perfect timing.
Oh yeah. Okay. Invariably with soft cheese, you're gonna get some crumbles up here. Knock it in. They'll melt.
They will.
We'll deal with this later. All right.
Butter.
But I don't need yet.
Oh, that going out of the pan?
Uh-huh. All right, we'll get that out of the way. All right, so here's our cheese. We're just gonna let it sit in that for now. Um, I always eyeball things like this. So this was 8 ounces, an 8 ounce brick of cheese, plenty for what we have tonight. It's gonna be super cheesy. Like it might be too much, but it's cheese, so we're okay with that. All right, so our egg sauce. The Eiersauce that I had on Facebook. So this is a creamy sauce, no cream, made with eggs. Um, so we are going to put some butter in here. Actually, we're going to temp these and see how close they are to done. Um, the way this recipe is written, it's everything in a pot together, and the sauce comes together in two parts because of the eggs. You don't want to have scrambled eggs, so we're going to mimic that. The recipe calls for a double boiler and all sorts of stuff. We're not gonna make you go that far at dinner time. So we're gonna go ahead and
We
put
agreed to never do it.
never too much cheese. A couple tablespoons of butter in here. We're gonna let that melt. We'll use the rest of that butter later. Oh, I need a drink.
I'm on number 3.
I have a cup of chicken stock broth that I made from bouillon. Of course, you guys know I use the Laura bouillon. To that, and Jennifer, guess what I found in my pantry?
Can't see that. Oh, hold on. Asparagus.
I don't know what to tell you. You can turn it back to us if you want. So I was like, I need tarragon vinegar for this recipe. I'm gonna turn that down so that butter doesn't brown. Um, and lo and behold, I unearthed some about 30 minutes before showtime. All right, so about half a tablespoon of this, so like 2 teaspoons would do it. If you don't have tarragon vinegar and you don't use it a lot, I buy things, I use it a few times, and then it sits until I need it again. Um, you can use apple cider vinegar would be fine, and add some dried tarragon to it to get that flavor. No big deal. All right, so this is all going in. Basically, what we're going to do here is, um, yeah, poach, steam the rest of the chicken, but I need that to actually cook down quite a bit. So,
Yes, wait, Jen. Saw it.
no way. Yes
Yeah.
way. All right, so we're gonna put this back on high so it boils. I need that sauce to start boiling. Okay, so while that's doing its thing, we have some eggs. I have a bowl. I'm gonna get a second bowl because I only need the egg yolks on this. I probably should not have used a cup of chicken stock, but we're
That's
gonna
okay.
go with it.
On with
Well, because you really want it to cook down by about a third,
the
but
cup
we're
is
okay.
fine.
I will
Yeah,
take some
it'll
out
be
if I
fine.
have to. Okay, here's the fun part. Somewhere I have an egg separator, but we're not going to use that. Crack so you can get things in half. Yeah, be careful and I don't know, you guys probably can't see that too well, but let the white slide out of the shell, back and forth if you need to. Yolk goes in a separate bowl. I'm not going to tell you what it looks like. You can guess. Usually just one flip will do it. And if you've got a little bit of white that ends up in here, it's not going to hurt anything. You want the yolk because that's what makes this so creamy. It's kind of like carbonara. Um, Now, eggs are not cheap right now, so don't waste the whites. I'm going to stick these in the fridge, and they're going to turn into an egg white omelet in the morning.
Yes.
Probably with a couple of other eggs for the
Yeah.
yolk, but still. I had a t-shirt on today that on the back of it says support your local egg dealer. I had a lot of comments on that.
Did you?
All right, so this gets covered up. Julia's going to throw it in the refrigerator. It'll be fine overnight. We're going to check the temp on these babies. That one's 150 almost. We're at 150. We've got a ways to go still. So,
Yeah.
All right. We're going to whisk these. I just want them creamy. Now, when it comes time, I'm going to let the chicken finish cooking before I build the sauce because I actually need to pull the chicken out so I can do this. You don't just dump your eggs in your hot pan
No.
because guess what happens? They'll curdle. Well, they won't curdle. They'll scramble. Basically, you're going to have scrambled eggs. So what we're going to do is temper what? I feel you. I totally feel you on that. I'm not gonna lie. I am blessed. I have a girlfriend with chickens. Actually, I have two girlfriends with chickens. One I pay for eggs like on a regular basis, so I don't ever let her give them to me for free. But sometimes we, swap things. But um, and she just what'd she tell me? She had 60 some odd babies that were just now starting to lay. So
About a month.
60 and I saw on Facebook that she's already got her some of them are starting to lay already. And then my aunt, so I think I'm gonna slide through this, but I know I am well aware of how fortunate I am with that right now. Sam's, I will tell you, Sam's had them at a decent price. What, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, I bought 2 dozen. No, like 4 dozen.
4 dozen.
For what, $8? Something like that, yeah. So that was still. I don't want to flip these because I don't want to lose that pretty color on the top. Yeah.
Color.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna, you know what? No, I'm gonna chill. I'm good. I'm gonna kind of prep for my noodles while this is finishing its thing. So half the rest of the butter in the noodle pan, which I will switch locations so you can see it when the time comes. But
move some stuff around.
Yeah. By the way, I keep my butter out. I've got butter in an old Wexford butter dish on the table, and I've got butter here that I cook with. And you can leave it out at room temperature. It's not going to go bad. You can buy a butter bell too, to do that. That way you always have soft butter. You don't have to.
A lot easier to cut.
Mm-hmm.
How is that with the mint?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like mine without the mint, but it is.
There's actually not so much mint in here. I can even taste it. But I really love the San Pellegrino. Would you put a couple more ice cubes in that? Like anything that was sparkling, I want super, super cold.
Good drink call. Put more ice cubes.
Okay. Man, okay, we're there. My chicken's there. Goodness, they were just not wanting to get up to temp. I think that's part of the mint leaf. All right, we'll clean that mess up later.
Here you go.
Thank you so much, honey.
You're welcome.
These are delicious. Mm-hmm.
JFX says she loves her butter belt. Oh, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I love this
How are
thing.
the skinny ones?
They're good. I was looking for this thing. Y'all, I need a bigger kitchen.
I don't know about that. You need a more organized kitchen.
No, well, I need to organize my spices is what I need to organize because there's a lot of them. Okay. Now this really has cooked down.
Really?
So that's gonna be a flavor bomb. Yeah, just put that somewhere.
Right here next to
Yeah. I'm gonna turn the heat down significantly. We'll season that up some more. All right, this has cooked down a lot. So what I'm going to do.
We are drinking a Hugo Spritz. It is elderflower liquor. Now, 2 ounces of sparkling liquor. And then fill with prosecco.
All right, so I'm going to get some of this sauce. So I've cooked down to at least by half, and that's what I wanted. So that actually worked out really well. So here's the deal. To temper, can we see? Okay, we're
Yep,
looking, we're
yep, yep,
seeing.
I'm watching.
Okay, you don't need a whole lot, and you want to drizzle and whisk at the same time. It's going to bring your eggs up to, whoops, up to temp without cooking them. You don't want scrambled eggs. All right, now I'm almost scared to do it. You know what? I'm going to do this backwards because I
Yeah,
don't have
go for
enough
it.
sauce in here to whisk. So
Go for
we're
it.
gonna we're gonna finish this out in
Go for
here,
it.
and then we'll put it back in the pan. All right. So now we have um.
She this joking thinking that she has such a tiny amount of spices. She's got
Can I have that lemon?
what? A lemon.
Tiny amount of spices, my arse. What's in
There's
your
the
spice
lemon.
cabinet? Thank you. All right. Half of this lemon is going in the sauce, and the other half is going to be a garnish. So I'm gonna slice the,
Oh,
yeah, almost too thin.
yeah.
Use the heel of the knife here to get.
JFX says tempering eggs is fun until you mess it up.
Yeah, and right, normally I would say just start over, but man, right now I know that's a costly endeavor. Okay, so I'm just going to squeeze. These are juicy guys. A small lemon will get you about a tablespoon of juice. This guy, probably this will get me nearly that. All right, we're going to put
Put it
that
in there
back
because
in
it's
to
still.
keep it on. Really, I'm just trying to keep this on heat now. Uh-oh, shit. Guess what happened?
Well, that's because you had it on heat.
Yep. I'm going to pull that right back off. I'll show you what happened.
Eggs.
Too hot, too fast. So I have scrambled eggs. So I pulled the end of it off real fast. So that's what happens. And that's okay. Because I still have enough over here I can use it. Let me turn that off, please. Yeah, too hot and not enough sauce.
That's okay. We got more.
It's
I'll be nice.
oh, I'm not too worried about it. Yeah. So it gave me a really thin layer as soon as it hit that heat. All right.
Yeah, this is.
It's okay. I pulled it real fast. We survived.
We still have some.
Okay, we're gonna cook these up to medium. Nice amount of butter in here, a couple tablespoons. If you wanted a little bit more, you could. I'll throw a couple of those in there to.
Yeah, so you're.
Well, that's going on the chicken.
What?
The sauce is for the chicken.
Oh, I'm gonna pour this out.
I don't want them. Get it later. Not a big deal. A little bit. Oh, what the hell? Just use the end of the butter. Um, everything's better with butter. You could use olive oil too for this, but butter is the preferred.
But it's fine now.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. We're just gonna be a J effect garlic and herb meal because that will be delicious with the cheese. Up, 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 up. All right, will melt really easily. You don't need um, you don't need milk, cream. I mean, nothing like that. Maybe a little bit of chicken stock, but you really don't. You just really don't. Mm. Oh my gosh, when that garlic and herb hits the heat, that smells delicious. Okay, trying to get some things out of the way here. Gonna have a messy kitchen. That's okay.
That pan's probably cool enough.
Yeah, I actually don't need it.
Oh,
So we got some cheese pulled. That's what you want. We're not making cheese sauce. We're just cheesing it up. Put that back, that in the back. Put those over here. Move some stuff around. We'll do a blue plate. And a cheeky breast. Which one you want?
that one there. That one mine.
Okie dokie. No, there's nothing green on the menu tonight. I had green at lunchtime.
Yeah, don't have to have green though. I think it's healthy,
Mhm.
especially when you put butter.
All right, so to garnish, chives, parsley. Couldn't find chives. I lied. There is green on the menu tonight. It's right there. Just to, garnish. Don't need a lot.
It's Butterkäse. K-A-S.
Yes.
Yeah, Beck was saying she's always looking for a good melty cheese.
Yeah, Kroger's carries a various brands.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I saw some at the co-op, the food co-op. Okay, so garnish for that. I stuck my lemons in the sauce so they could get a little saucy. There we go. Maybe not that much, Jay.
There we go.
Unimus. Take a
Mm,
bite?
yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
It's my plate. Mm.
It is your plate. I'll make another one to take a picture of. There you go. Have at it.
Osby, regular knife. I guess not though.
It's use whatever knife you want to. I just was making it easy.
Right.
hmm I just got an ice cube I'm chomping on.
I heard.
They probably heard too.
Might have.
Phew. That is like nearly perfect. That. Oh, you guys, that is so good.
Mhm. I got a little fork full of everything.
Yeah. Well, sugar's gonna get a bite too.
Oh, my Lord.
So that sauce on this.
Oh, that's so good. Mm,
Okay, I'm done. Stick a fork in me.
that's
That's delicious.
delicious.
Jinx.
Mm, man.
Okay, that was easy. We're right at the hour mark,
Mhm.
but 45 minutes probably once all said and done. Um, do things in stages. I did the
Yes.
spätzle first. Um, let it sit. Did the chicken. Um, be mindful of heat when you're dealing with egg sauce. But beyond that,
Mm.
which I'm glad I was paying attention because could yank the rest of the sauce out. But um, and there's still plenty there for the chicken
Oh, yeah.
that we have. It's delicious.
It is amazing.
So we're going to go eat
Where to eat,
dinner and drink.
drink, and be merry.
And if you've never tried San Pellegrino, just the plain stuff, the
Mhm.
plain sparkling water, it's actually really good. I'm not a fizzy water person, but it's good. So oh, we'll clean up that mess in a minute.
Yes, somebody will.
That this is a definite mess,
Mhm.
but life goes on. So
Yeah. We'll get it
um,
all cleaned up tonight.
we're in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm spring break for me. I can
Woohoo.
wait. So
So thank you for sticking around and watching with us. We appreciate you guys, and hopefully you guys have learned a thing or maybe even two.
maybe a lesson.
Yeah,
So
if not,
things go haywire sometimes in the kitchen when you're
yeah.
cooking dinner, and guess what? You just punch. So, all right, folks, thanks for hanging out with us for a little while. We will see you next Monday. I don't remember which country we're headed to next,
Still
but
Central Europe
Central
though.
Europe all the way through March. And I will vary the dishes as much as I can,
Mhm.
given the flavor profiles cross over a lot. Um,
Various cocktails.
oh, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
And with that said, everybody have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
See you
Bye.
guys.
No, that's yours.
Oh yeah.